Hi, I'm Lindsay Miller with Lycon Wax USA, and today is our first episode of Smooth Moves. I'm going to be talking to you about the perfect wax station setup. So as you can see, we have our wax set up on a rolly station. Now this is all going to depend on the size of the space that you have available, as well as personal preference. Some of it will depend on if you're left-handed or right-handed, and which way you have your client positioned on the bed. I'm just going to walk you through the basic setup that we have and hopefully offer some tips and tricks along the way. So first of all, we have down below our disinfectant station. Now this is great to have if you have the space where you can put your tools after the service and you can clean them right before your client comes in. Now most importantly, as we walk through this, you want to keep in mind that you want to have everything you need for the service easily accessible and you know where it is. The last thing you want to be doing is frantically looking for a cotton pad. Now that we walked through our disinfectant station, we also have down here, I've laid out all of the products we're going to need for throughout the treatment. So we have our cotton pads for pre and post product application. We have some Q-tips in case you were doing any kind of eyebrow tinting or you had, if you wanted to fix a client's makeup. We also have our brow sticks, which are great for brow waxing. And then we have some other little pads in case you wanted to fix any of the client's makeup after any sort of facial waxing. Now moving to our top here, we have our wax heater. Now again, this all depends on the space that you have to work with. We have displayed the duo heater. It's always nice if you can to have both the hot wax and the strip wax heated at the same time. The benefits of that is if you're doing a wax and your client decides that they want to get a leg wax and you have the time to fit it in, it's nice to be able to have the option because your wax is already ready to go. Now I've put all of our pre and post products, this is in the order that we're going to be using them. So we have our cleanser first, we have our oil, and then we have our soothing lotion afterwards. I've also put a targeted ingrown hair treatment out as well, depending on what area you're waxing and if your clients need that extra treatment. Now, as you can see, I've positioned all these products behind the heater, which is a really nice thing to do because as you're waxing, you're going to be stirring the pot, taking the wax, and applying. The last thing you want to do is have your products in front of your heater, where the possibility is for you to drop the wax and to make a mess. Now, one big thing I would also recommend is before your client gets in, make sure that you've thoroughly cleaned your wax heater. So obviously as you're waxing, you're going to be dropping wax, things happen, you put a spatula down by accident. Now when your client comes in, you want your whole station to look very professional. So cleansing the heater with a wax solvent that removes all of the wax right before the client comes in is always highly recommended. Now moving along, we have our wax sticks. So I like to have both the small coffee style sticks for brow waxing, smaller areas like lip waxing, and then we also have our larger tongue depressor spatulas. Now one little trick that I picked up along the way is if you don't have the small spatulas and you're in a bind, you can actually just split the larger ones in half. So you can easily create a smaller, more defined spatula with the larger ones, which is always good to have if you're doing more precise waxing. Now I also have some tweezers and some scissors laid out, again, for facial waxing. So if you want to do a little trim on the brows right before, it's always good to have those ready to go. So again, this is our recommended wax station setup. I would say that, again, you can kind of play around with the style and see what works for you, but most importantly, have all of the products you need ready and exactly where they are for during the service.